Okay, guys, so first scenario, Outlook user unable to send emails. Okay, this is the actual scenario. So the context is a user reports being unable to send emails. Emails are stuck in the outbox. A non-delivery NDR, sorry, is generated. So 550, etc. Access denied. Tenant has exceeded threshold for messages with bad recipient addresses. What is the setup? The user is on a business premium license and uses the Outlook desktop app connected to Exchange Online, so nothing bad, usual things. The company imported an old contact list from a CSV file leading to increased email traffic. So this is the actual component that is the most important. Okay, guys, it's this one. And then some employee reported bounce back message due to invalid recipient addresses because of the old contact list. Okay, because of the old contact list. So maybe some are good, some are bad. But the thing, guys, is with mailing, with managing your mailbox, there is some sort of limits that your email provider, in our case it's Microsoft, will give you. There is like some sort of, as you see here, threshold. So there is a threshold where if it's go beyond this threshold, so for example, if you send 1,000 mail per day, which is very big, and you are making 10, you're sending 10 invalid address, it's still fine. Or maybe 5 or 6, it's still fine, less than 10. But if you start to send 100 mail that are invalid, which means that are outdated, or there's like a problem with this mail, now it becomes a problem, and Microsoft, the email provider, will could block you. In our case, it could block the tenant. Okay, so the access will be denied. In our case, for the all employee, okay, for the all employees, the ex the the sorry, the process of sending emails and receiving emails could be blocked because of this. So it could be an issue not only for one user but for multiple user. And what you should do first, guys, before everything, you still don't know about what's going on, sorry, you still don't know about what's going on, the first thing that you should do is to look at the message trace. You should like get a hands on, sorry, yeah, you should go to mailflow and message trace. Why? Because you want to know what's going on. You're still not sure about the all contact list. You still, because when you will start to receive tickets, the person will not directly say, yeah, we actually did this and that. You need to look at the NDR precisely, and especially the actual message trace, because it will give you all the information you need. But the NDR will be on the actual mailbox. As you can see here, I don't have NDR, but I had in my past some NDR, but not now. Oh yeah, sorry guys, has failed. Okay, okay, it's another thing that we will talk after. um but yeah, first thing you need to do, guys, message trace. You receive a ticket, it says that, look, I have this, I just received this NDR, and I need to, like, please tell me what's going on. So you will first go here and you will say start trace. You could use the, most of the time, the actual admin, the exchange admin, will prepare like some message trace, some query that you could use, so you don't waste time. Me, the way that I like to do is to go broad. I like to go a little bit broader than what you need. Okay, so for example, if I know that it's exactly this sender, exactly this recipient, and it happened exactly at 2:15, I would not I would not follow exactly that. I will go a little bit broader, because in my experience I found that going broader, it's more efficient. So in our case, for example, we will go here on Manon Leimer, and we'll make the recipient as being anti.sec. Okay, doesn't have, which is my email address, anti.sec@gmail.com. Yep. We will not go. It's here that you will precise. For example, if it happened in the morning, you will go from, for example, here, 8 a.m. to 8 a.m. to 12 a.m. If yesterday you didn't have any issue like this and they started their mail campaign only this morning, but you still don't know. It's really important, guys. What I add here, the scenario, you don't know about this. It's after that you know about that. So first you just discovering. You're just discovering, and message trace is the best way to do it. So let's say, for example, this or even that, and then say, yep. So for example, if we say this, start with no. Okay, let's just, for now, just for, okay, no data available. Uh, mm, 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 mm. Let me do it again. You see, that's why I like to go a little bit broader. So let's do this, and then let's go from here. Because I think I received like something. I think there is some delivery failed email that I had. So that's why I want to show you how it looks. Okay, and for example, if you look here, failed. So let's type, so it's to all company. So it says, a non-delivery report NDR message was sent to Manon, etc., etc. So the NDR might provide more details. So guys, you here, you still don't know what's going on. What you do, you go to the, not to the delivered, but to the failed, and it will tell you, for example, this email is a bad recipient. Okay, this email doesn't work. Like, is simply invalid. It's not that it doesn't work. It's just invalid. Okay, it doesn't exist because it's old. So you will start to make your investigation and trying to search what is the actual issue, and now you will, and afterwards you will realize that, okay, this recipient plus this other recipient, there is a lot of NDR. So what it means, maybe, yeah, that's it. There is like a lot of invalid email addresses that are uh, that are that are simply outdated. And what is the NDR, guys? If you just look at this, so you actually have your tenant here. Okay, this is your organization. Tenant, guys, is just for the one that are more, that have more experience with Active Directory. Let's say it's the forest. Okay, it's the whole forest. So you have your tenant here, and your tenant, for example, your domain is anti.sec. Sorry, guys, I still didn't have my tablet. Anti dots, okay, security, and you have all your employee here. Okay, this is all your employees office, and they working on this laptop. And whenever they trying here to send any email, it will go from here to the whole internet. Okay, to the whole internet, and it will go, as you know, internet is just like servers, router to other router to other servers, etc., other router, etc., until reaching your other, for example, the other tenants. For example, there is another tenant that is your partners, and you are working with him, or simply prospect. Okay, simply prospect. So it will go here in these IP addresses. It will go to these IP addresses, guys. If you want to know everything about networking, I cover um, huge playlist. You need just to ask to people in the group, and they will tell you where to get it. So yep, when you receive an NDR, it simply means that it didn't reach here, like it stopped from here, because he saw that it doesn't, your actual tenant, the Microsoft said directly block you here. Okay, Microsoft block you here, and it said it doesn't exist, like stop. So I'm gonna send you a NDR. Okay, So he will actually search like in his databases, and when he saw that he doesn't exist, it will just return. Okay, so it will go here, and then you say no, it doesn't exist, and go back here. Okay, so in this actual area, it's how NDR work. Okay, so it's how you know that it simply means that this email address doesn't actually work or is outdated, etc. So it's how you know that the issue, where the issue come from. So this is the definition about NGR, and now what you need to do is, after collecting so much data concerning your actual problem issue, and doing your investigation, so you encounter that there is this email, this other email, etc. You will make a list, and you will simply give it to the admin that will, like, take in charge of the issue, and now he will say, okay, so this is the bad list, and now you could go and see the employees and tell them, yeah, you need to correct your actual CSV, because there is a lot of email address not that are not up to date, and so it's how it works. Then what you will do, you need to check for the tenant health. So you could go to actually alerts. So the actual purpose of alerts, it's like you want to notify, for example, you want to notify administrators about specific email related issues, like for example delivery delays, large email volumes, and these type of things. For example, if we want to take like a real world example, it's like your IT, for example, your IT team wants to know immediately if emails delivery delays exceed 30 minutes for critical emails sent to external partners, which is very huge, like 30 minutes just to send an emails, and especially if you guys are partners. So to help admins identify and respond to the issue, they need to know before, like they need to implement alerts. So it's what you do, you implement alerts, and you say, if emails delivery delays is more than 30 minutes, contact the admin, send an email to the admin, and send a notification here. So it's where you will see alert policy, guys. Simply, very very simply, it's more about suspicious email activity. I'm gonna leave it here. It's just more about suspicious email activity, like phishing attempts, or policy violation like malware detection, and these type of things. Yeah. So yeah, this one is more straightforward than the alerts. So that's why I don't need maybe to define alert policy. So yes. Okay, guys, there is this one thing that I want to add, because I think it's very important. So as you can see, I took a screenshot, and I forget about this because I wanted to show you this. I actually took a screenshot about things that are very important. I told you here, when you go to message trace and you want to know like what's going on, what was the actual, how my message traveled, okay, how my message traveled from A to B, and you will see exactly what's going on. It's actually here a better example. As you can see, it fell, and it say exactly why. Reason: access denied, your organization does not allow external forwarding. So message trace is enough smart to tell you why you cannot do this. Okay? And here you will see transport rule. Transport rule meaning what rules you have set here. Okay? Alright? So, and here you will click, and it will tell you, okay, this rule was used for forwarding your message. Simple as this. And sorry guys, but maybe I did not explain this, but in order to forward message, you need to go here and go on, not delegation, but mailbox, manage, okay, yeah, manage email forwarding, and it's here. And for example, I implement my on email. Okay, so whenever I'm sending sorry, whenever, for example, if this guy here, okay, like as you can see, Laurent Couillard, 78, 78. So for example, if I'm here and I'm saying, okay, Manon, so here, say, hey, 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 so whatever, and I press send, look what happened. Look what happened here. Nothing. Okay. Okay, forwarding. Email is being forwarded to anti.sec.gmail.com. So it means that if I go here, I will see Laurent Couillard send me this. Okay, he sent me this mail. So yep, it works as simple as this, guys. But there is one thing, and normally I should have I should have sorry. Wait. Yep. When you go to manage email, as you can see, deliver message to both forwarding address and mailbox. And also, I think I implement some things. Yeah, because normally people do this for forward to internal email address. So that's why he let me know that you want to do this, you can do this, but it's not that much safe to implement this policy. So I need to also check here. So as you can see, normally it should double it. It means it should send me an email in my own Outlook and at the same time sending a mail to a mail to anti.sec.gmail.com at gmail.com. And I actually need, I forget, but I think I should look here to anti-spam. Mm, okay, and maybe outbound and automatic forwarding, automatic system forwarding, edit permission, automatic forwarding rules. But basically, it should normally allow me to copy a mail in my mailbox and a mail in here. But yeah, it's something that I should see with the support because I implement everything correctly. I forget because it was 2 days ago. Um, but yeah, I set everything the right way. Now, if we going back to check the tenant health, we will actually go to, let me check if the tenant is blocked. You could have actually, yeah, you could have alerts here. You could check to, let me think. Guys, there is also things that you need to know because I was thinking about Defender, but you need to understand that, for example, here, if you go here, look what you will get. Mailflow alerts have a new home. Okay, you now view, sorry, you now view, create and edit the alerts from the new Exchange Admin Center. So it means that many people, because like you know, these products of Microsoft 365, whether it's Defender, Exchange, SharePoint, Intune, change a lot. Okay, it changed a lot. So you could say that, yeah, I'm going to Defender to see if my tenant is blocked to Microsoft Defender, but no, guys. And as you can see, it's alerts. So actually, you will see here if your tenant is blocked. Okay, you will see in the alerts. So now to unblock the tenant, guys, it's very simple. You just send a message. So for example, if it has so much invalid and outdated emails, your tenant will be blocked. And then in order to unblock, you just go to the support. So you go here to the support and you explain them the situation, and then they will resolve it. Okay. And of course, guys, it's very important that you clean up the invalid recipients and you deliver the information to the actual team, for example, HR team, marketing team, whatever the team that encountered this issue, and tell them that those type of thing are very important if you don't want to see your tenant block. So now, very important also, you need to go to outbound spam policies. And what you could do is that depending on the situation, you could increase, but I'm gonna first show you where it is. So you go to email and collaboration. So it will be like this. It will be like this. And okay, email and collaboration, real-time detections. Uh, this one, it's for review, is for quarantine. So for example, if you have email that went directly to the quarantine, and for what reason, for example, for phishing reason, malware reasons, this type of thing, or this type of thing, your, or maybe it could simply be totally blocked. Sorry, I said, guys. Sorry, guys. I said it will be simply totally blocked. So I'm just gonna drink water, guys. So if you go to review, review, it will be okay, like I said. And here, real-time detections, as you see, it's just about every harmful malware, phishing attack, whatever the type of attack that could happen in your tenants. So now you should go to exchange admin, no, sorry, not this, policy and rules. Policy and rules, and I think you go to threat policies. Yeah, threat policies and anti-spam. As you see, there is a lot of things. This one is very interesting. The tenants allow block list. You need to go to here, anti-spam, and in a real life company, you will see anti-spam outbound policies, many outbound policy. Now, as you see, as you can understand, it's the default one. Yeah, it's written actually default. Yeah, it's the default one. So it's what uh, Microsoft will give you by default. Okay, so actually here you could set limit. For example, what you could set is that you can say to Microsoft, okay, let me think about, let me just read first. Just I don't say things that are not 100% true. As you can see here, it's written restrict sending to external recipients. Restrict sending to. They just don't want you. The purpose, guys, of anti-spam outbound policy is that they want you to give you a limit of mail that you will send per day. That's why it's outbound. Outbound means you in your tenant here, and what you are going to. I think you guys all understand. You have your tenant here, and it's every outbound emails that you will send to recipients. And the purpose of anti-spam outbound policy, it's just to avoid, like the name, spam. So to avoid getting your tenant blocked, because it's very important to set this up. Because for example, there is an employee in the company that don't know about this, and he will actually send like 10,000 emails per day. Like for example, he have like a big list, and he want to spam all of his prospects, for example, in the marketing team. But you will tell him, no, it doesn't. You cannot do this. Unfortunately, there is a some sort of threshold, and if you exceed this threshold, you will get our tenant block. So in order to prevent this, we set the anti-spam outbound policy to let's say 500 mail per days. Okay, 500 mail. So yeah, this is the actual reason of anti-spam policies. And there is, as you can see, the same for anti-spam inbound policy, which is the mail that you'll receive from other tenants and whatever. So yeah, this is also a very important thing. So I had messages about this. When you see 0 here, guys, it's simply saying like off, no limits. Okay, right now there is no limits because some people they say, okay, so it means that I cannot send any emails. No, no, zero just mean there is there is no limits. Okay, it does not block emails that you will send. Like the amount of emails will not be blocked by this anti-spam outbound policy. It could be blocked by, for example, Microsoft, and then it will have much more issue than this. Or because it's the default policy, let me read here, restrict the user for sending mail. Yep, control. So as you can see, the or actual spam policy, anti-spam outbound policy is really at the lowest possible. So it almost doesn't exist. So okay. There is also something, guys. I don't know if I said it yesterday, but I'm just going to talk about here now. That is very important, and it's linked to anti-spam outbound policy. Let me see if I have it here. It's very important, guys, that when you will when you will go for the free trial, it's very important that you disable security default, and I will show you why. Because if you don't do it, even though you have your anti-spam outbound policy and you check and you see, okay, there is no limit, so I can do whatever I want. I can forward email to external policy. I can do whatever I want because everything is set by default. And if I look here, off, there is no block list. If I go to inbound policy, it's it's off. So there is nothing that is on. So you would say that, okay, like I start from scratch and I could do whatever I want and then I could build policies from time. But if you don't go here, I will show you where. It's in Entra, yeah. So you need to go to Entra, to identity here, and you need to go to conditional access, protection, conditional access, and here you will see a message, and this message is this one. So as you can see, conditional access, and no, and you would need, when you will create a conditional access, and I'm telling you just after this why how I discover it and how you could know about this. So you will see this when you will create a conditional access, and it will disable all security default that you have in your tenants. Okay, and why I'm saying this, it's because I was trying to do many tests, like forward emails to outside email address, which is this email address, int.sec@gmail.com, and it keep on blocking. And I was checking the outbound policy. I was checking like many stuff, and I don't know the reason. And then what I did is that I implement a rule. Okay, I implement a rule. Let me check. No, in Exchange. So whenever you have problem in blocking on your tenants, it's better that you change the actual rules. What I did here, it's bad, but I just did it because and what I did, I'm just gonna explain you quickly, is that I call I always put bad name. It's just I do things quickly. I said forward message to anti.sec Gmail, and the correct name would be allowed forward message to anti.sec Gmail, because it keep on blocking, and I did everything right, but it keeps on blocking. So this is the issue I had, and what I did, if I go on here on condition, I say apply this rule if the recipient is this person, so me. So yeah, like I told you guys, Manon is like the CEO of the actual tenant, the organization, and you will say, okay, if the recipient is Manon Leimer, do the following: redirect the message to this recipient. But it's not only this. It's not only this. Where is the actual Yeah, but okay, I will show you right now what I did. I don't know why it's not that clear. I would just say allow, and then it's just like quickly for you to understand. So I will go to sender. Maybe I changed it because since I disabled, so I didn't have the issue, but I don't remember. Okay, so the sender, let's say the sender is this person. Let's go for Manon, and then do the following. So what you should do, it's modify the message properties and go for here. Okay, and now you will go to bypass spam filter, save, and you will, yeah. So what I did is that I allow Manon, this person, to modify the message properties and just to disable the spam policies. It's just what I did. I just cancel and undo the policy because I set it to -1. It means that, and for example, I could say, uh, yeah, and simply by doing this is that all the default policy is just going to lower from 0. It just go from, because -1 plus 1 equals 0. So it just means this. So it means that if you have other spam policy and you have this one, it will just go back to 0, so I can do whatever I want. So it's what I did, guys. So it's, as you can see, there is a lot of bypassing. Like, you need to think a little bit outside the box by thinking, okay, how can I do to unblock the situation? But I'm not gonna lie, it's really not a good solution when you are in a company. When you're in a company, very important things that I want to show you, and I forget to show you this when I was talking about message trace. So I will go back here and I will go back to Manon. It's very, very important, guys. Very, very important. So I will go here and then search. Sorry, guys, what I did wrong. Store trace. Okay, so when you have an issue, I forget to add this for the scenario 1. When you have an issue and you want to solve it, I told you that you need context. In our case, it's an NDR, okay? But it's also very important to know what rules have been triggered, because what you are saying here, it's the whole events about you sending the emails to all company dot anti security, etc. Okay, to this email, to all company at email. But here there is no message rules. When you go here, okay, when you go to more information or message events, you will get the rules. And the rules, it's what we have applied here. So it means that because message trace, it's actually told you, okay, when this guy sent you an email, it's what happened. It went to your rules, and your rules, for example, is about spam policies. So in message trace, it will tell you exactly the process and the actual chronology of every step that you mail encounter. So it went to these rules, then to these other rules. Of course, in the company settings, you will have many rules, and it will be in message trace. So like this, if there is an issue, you could go to the actual rules and say accept. Okay, you will go, for example, to edit the rules, and you will go here in condition, and you will say, for example, except if. Because if there is an issue and the admin or you that you set up the actual you set up the actual policies and you forget about this exception, so this will be the CEO, for example, or whatever, the marketing team, they will start to get this error. And what you should do is say, oh, okay, yeah, it's right, like this guy can't do this, so I'm gonna say except if it's the, for example, the trainee or the manager, because there is different rules, different type of things. So I think so I think you guys know the idea. And I want to talk quickly, guys, quickly, if I can, about rules, because I think rules are very, very important in Exchange admin. So let's say, for example, you want to block a suspicious domains. You could go here, okay, you could go here in Microsoft Defender and allow block list. Okay, you will allow, sorry, you will either allow or block email. In our case, domain, it's what I mean, sorry. So you could say here, for example, and you can make badmail.com, um evil.com. Yeah, and you implement all this, or for example, friends.org, like friends trust us, for example, this everything. Like, yeah, like for example, all these domain and addresses and everything that you have are very suspicious, and you can block this like forever, and then you just simply do add. You can add some sort of notes, and yeah. So this one is very, very interesting. Spoofed senders. This one we could see this later. I think I'm. Let's see if I have it on the actual schedule. So now, guys, I told you about rules. Okay, I just want quickly to do some very simple rules. So let's go for this example about rule. So let's create a new rule, and maybe the rules that you guys could implement a lot. It's maybe this one. It's about, let's call it encrypt sensitive emails, okay? And we're gonna say if the subject or body includes any of these words, that you see there is many things. It will be given usually by your admin, so you don't need to, um, most of the time, not always, but it could be given by your admins. It would be in the SOP. So let's simply say subject or body includes any of these words. We could say, for example, confidential, okay, add, uh, sensitive, okay, I'm writing very bad, but it's just for example. What other words there is? Uh, social security number, okay, credit card, all of these things. But it actually, this type of thing could be changed also in the Microsoft purview. I'm just making an example, guys. There's many way you could do things in very different way. It's just a very, very example. So now what I could do, yeah, now what I could do is I could now do what could be the actual name. I think is modify the message security, and you could say apply Office 365 encryption and write protection, remove 365 encryption, require TLS encryption. Okay, as you see, guys, for example, you could either go here, let's say, for example, the first one. Yeah, let's say, yeah, and you just follow like the prompts. And maybe the other thing that you could do, just as an example, you could add a warning. This one is good. For example, if you add, and as you can see, guys, I didn't look at the actual. Oh yeah, you see, there's, okay, I don't need to do all of these things because I forget that there is the actual default rules. So for example, as you can see, guys, apply Office 365 message encryption and write protection to messages, apply custom branding to OME messages, apply disclaimers. Apply disclaimers is, for example, you want to make a disclaimer for each mail that are outside your organization. It's very important, and you can, in the actual edit, configure it. You can configure this in the actual editing, and you could say that whenever the mail is outside the company, put a disclaimer and say this, for example, this discussion is just between you and us, like yeah, it's just sorry, it's just between, yeah, like you and me. Please don't share this information. You could say this type of thing for every outside emails, okay guys? So yeah, and you could like just try different rules. They are very cool. Then so guys, let's go to the next scenario. We'll go a little bit faster. All right, we'll go a little bit faster. So where is my, oh okay, yeah, because i I get confused. So okay, now scenario 2, shared mailbox permission issue. Okay, shared mailbox permissions issue. A shared mailbox support at yourcompany.com is used by the support team. A support agent cannot send as or send on behalf of the mailbox. Error message. You don't have permission to send messages from this mailbox. This could happen a lot. It's very simple to fix this. There is many way of fixing this. The shared mailbox is managed in the Microsoft 365 Admin Center. Permissions were configured manually in the Exchange Admin Center, meaning things have been done correctly. It seems that things have been done correctly. The agents use Outlook on the web, meaning this Outlook on the web is this Outlook. This desktop Outlook is the one that you have simply on your desk. Is your desktop application, not your Outlook like this one. Okay, so very simply, guys, very simply for this one, what you could do. Let me think first about not giving the right definition first, because it's better if first I tell you, because I know that some of you they could forget, or some of you don't know the difference between this. So let me go back on mailbox and I will tell you where exactly it is. For example, let's say Norman Osborn. Okay, you have Norman Osborn here, and you go to mailbox, and as you can see here, I went to mailbox, and we have send on behalf, and we have manage email forwarding, but it's more about delegation. Yep, it's here. Send as, send on behalf. What is this? What are they, and what is the meaning? What is simply the meaning of them? So read and manage full access, guys, is simply as you will give full access to this person. Okay, you will give full access to this person. It means that they could go, for example, if Manon, she's the owner of the society, sorry, the organization, and she will directly go to his mailbox. Okay, she will go here and here, and she will say open another mailbox. Okay, and then she will simply enter Norman Osborn, etc., etc., and she will simply open this mailbox. Okay. uh yep, so it's what read and manage full access means. Now when you have send as, it's you doing this. When you have some, simply, if for example here it's Manon and I only have the send as permission, I will simply be able to do this. So I do new mail, and then I go to, no, subject. For example, if I open this here and I go to show from, so yeah, I need to do this, and then I will say, for example, this. As you can see, in my case, for example, Manon, what you see this Outlook mailbox, Manon can also use this mailbox as a send as. Okay, and now she could send mailbox this this mail. Okay, so SM help desk, etc., etc. So yep, this is what send as is. Okay, what is send on behalf? Send on behalf meaning when she will, oh I delete it, when she will do this in option show from, when she will do when she will send, it will be Manon. For example, I want to send here the person that will receive the mail. He will say sorry, he will see Manon sent a message on behalf SM help desk. So it will provide more personalization. It will not only say that it comes from SM help desk, but it will also say that it come from Manon, and Manon send a message on behalf SM help desk. Okay, guys, and yep, and yeah, that's it, guys. That's it. So okay, now you understand like what's going on. If there is an issue, what you should do? First thing, you verify. You verifying if it has the correct permission. In our case, for example, it doesn't have, so you just implement it. And guys, there is a very very important things that you need to understand, and it's simply this, guys. You need to be patient. You really need to be patient because there is time for propagation, and it could be either 5 minutes instantly to, let's say, 2 hours. It really depends on Microsoft servers. It doesn't depend. For example, if you're very close to Microsoft servers, things could get quick. Things could get like very fast. But it's not always the case because it depends also on Microsoft servers about their availability. And that's why I'm giving you another gem right now. You could go to actual admin center and go to actual health. Yeah, health is here, and go to service health. And service health will tell you what's going on in for example France right now, like what's going on with the Microsoft servers in France right now. Because if it, for example, it like you did everything correctly, either it's your rules, either it's your uh, either on your mailbox you have shared the correct, you have implemented the correct permission, but it's not enough, and you see that there is still this issue. It's very important that you check this service health. What does it mean? Sorry, what it is? It's simply an actual insight of the affected services and what's going on with all your products that is not that is that sorry, that does not concern your tenants but concern every tenant, for example in France. Okay, and it will tell you like what's going on, active issue Microsoft is working on. As you can see, it's not your fault. So right now, like, you have something to say to your to the actual employee that work in marketing and is and doesn't know how to do this, and you're like, yeah, I don't know why it doesn't work either. You could simply go in service health and see if it affects, if the productivity, if Microsoft is uh, just doing bad, is just doing bad and is fixing things. Okay, so this one is very important. Okay, what else? Then you can simply just try. Yeah, you can simply try, and yeah, you can, after you implement the correct permission, then you could just try like with the actual employee and tell him, okay, this is bad, this is good, you should do can you check here? Maybe he doesn't know how to do it, so you will just like explain him the correct path. So there is also another things that I could say about Outlook desktop app because it's different, but I'm just looking because I have another. Okay, we will cover this later. So in the sixth scenario, we will cover this in the sixth scenario. Okay, because it's almost the same thing, but it's for Outlook desktop app, and it's very different. The way you can handle it, it's very different. So this is good. This is enough. I will just make sure. Let me check. Okay, we could go to the actual scenario 3. Okay, we could go there. So the CEO tries to send an email to an external recipient but receives the NDR. External emails not allowed by tenant policy. What does it mean? It means that there is, okay, let's read the setup first. The organization update transport rules in EAC, so Exchange Admin Center, to comply with security policies. No existing rules allow external email from the CEO's account. A rule must be created from scratch to address this issue. It's not that correct. If there is the third is not that correct. Like I told you, when you are working with rules, sorry, maybe I never say it. It's very important that you don't keep on creating new rules and new rules and new rules. It's always best that, for example, if you have your actual rules, for example, I have 10 rules here. I will go to here, which, for example, again, guys, in order to go to the issue, I will go here, start trace. I will put the CEO email here, and then it will tell me, yeah, it happens between this time. I will take like a bit broader uh, queries, and then I will find what's going on. And when I will find the actual email that caused the issue, I will actually go to the rules because as you can, as I said, you can on message trace, you can see what rules have been affected, what rules have been implemented, and what rules have been simply add on the chronology. Okay, so for example, if you see there is this rules, you can simply click, okay, and simply go here on edit rules condition and do except if. Okay, so you can say except if the recipient is this person, and then you will allow it. Okay, you will simply, yeah, you will simply allow this new this external email. Okay, because either you do this, because guys, like I said, there is many things that you could do, or like I said, you could go to tenant and tenant allow block list. It's the CEO, so yeah, you could simply like just unblock the actual address. Okay, you can unblock the actual address, the actual domain that the CEO said no, like I actually can send this email to this person. Or yeah, it's really depend on the situation, guys. It's really depend on the situation. So yep. But if you need to create a new rules, you can do it. For example, you can go here. Should I do it? So, okay, maybe I will do it quickly. Allow external rules. You say the sender. If the sender is the CEO, in our case, it will be Manon. Let me find. Okay, and you will actually, sorry guys, you know what you actually can do? It's in order to implement the rules, you can actually implement the exact same rules that I did just not last time, but just before. So you just do this, set the spam confidence, and you just bypass spam filter. And like this, he will be able to send any mails that he wants. But it's not, in company, it's not the correct way to do. It's just like, yes, it's maybe a patch, and then the admin could come and say, no, no, I will delete these rules and I will implement a better rules. So, but it's always best in order that you, because, sorry guys, you don't want to have a thousand rules here. You want to get, for example, I'm just saying random numbers. You want to stay with, for example, 50 rules, okay? And you want to keep modifying these rules so you don't end up with 1,000 rules, because at the end of the year it will be just impossible to read, because there is so much rules that it will be just impossible to know what to do. Okay, so what you can do, you can also go to the anti-spam. Okay, and you could just, yeah, defender, and you could go in policy and rules and just check. You can just check the actual outbound policy and to see what's going on. Okay, guys. Like you need to ensure that the CEO's account, client error. Okay, I hope it will not cause any issue for the next scenarios. So, yeah, you just ensure that the CEO's account is not restricted under outbound policies. I don't know, maybe someone did a bad, implement badly a policy, outbound policy, and without purposes he implements the CEO mail, whereas it shouldn't be that way. Okay, so okay, we could go now for the scenario 4 about delayed emails from a distribution, email delays from a distribution list. So let me go back here. So the scenario 4, delayed emails from a distribution list. This could happen a lot also. Users report that emails sent to a distribution list team at your company, in my case anti.security.com, experience significant delivery delays. No error messages are seen by the senders, which is a good thing, but the issue is consistent for all users. It means that consistent in a way that they keep on waiting and waiting and waiting until they receive the actual mail. The distribution list contains over 50 members, including internal and external users. A transport rule. When you see a transport rule, you need to like get this straight. It just mean rules, okay? Like it's the rules that you see here. um okay, a transport rule was recently created to apply a disclaimer to all outgoing emails. Uh-huh. Okay, so this one is, it's actually what could maybe trigger the delay. Direct emails to individuals are delivered without delay. So it means that when you are sending only one email to one person, there is no delay. But when you start to sending to 50 members, there is a delay. Okay, guys. So what do you understand here? The actual issue is this: is that again, how you will know this? It's you will go to here, you will go to message trace, start a trace, and then, for example, if this guy he said that yeah, the senders is team at etc., you will just find it here. Let's say, for example, in our case, it's no, but IT. I don't have any. Really? Oh, but maybe because there is a actual issue, no? But normally I have. Okay, normally I have a team. It doesn't matter. I have like IT team, or let's say this one. Yeah, for example, this one. It's this guy that, for example, it's a guy from the help desk team, and he handles all the actual communication for the HR team or whatever, like all the company to prevent them about certain type of issue, etc. So this mailbox here, and it's him that encountered this issue. So we'll simply go for search. You will do the actual, okay, the actual queries that will help you find the exact emails, and then you will search, and you will end up with many, with the emails, okay, the email. And now, like I said, guys, you will just look at the rules that is implemented, and you will see what's going on, okay? And you will look for latency details, such, like I said, a transport rule, processing time, or scanning delays, which could happen a lot. Now you will look at the rules. For example, it could be a rules that is linked to this, and what could be the actual rules? The rules is, I think we said it here, it's the disclaimer. So for example, it will be a rule here that it will be name disclaimer for all outgoing email that is yeah, all a disclaimer for outgoing emails that exceed 50 members, for example, that exceed 40 members. I don't know, whatever things. Or not especially, even though it only applied to one person, it could be, yeah, it could cause issue. So what I mean by this, it's when you are sending emails, there is a lot of things that going on in the back. In our case, what things could happen? For example, on the mail, he could add a disclaimer that say it's a mail from the company, etc. Like whatever things. And for the outgoing emails that is external, he could also implement another another disclaimer. So what you want to do is that you want to make an exception for this actual, okay, for this actual mail. So in the sender here, you want to make an exception for him. So for example, is this person, and you want to say, for example, him, or in our case it was him. Okay, the SM help desk. Okay, so you will go to the right rule that you saw on message trace, and you will just go here and just say except if it's this mail. So if this rule is about applying disclaimer, and yes guys, why I'm saying this is because we know that adding a disclaimer for each email, for example, if you're setting this to 500 emails, it will take time. And not only this, but also, for example, if you are you need to also check here for the anti this one is the anti no, it's the safe attachments. For example, if you could create an exception and say except if here, and I have everything by default, but you can go here and say you will take the actual rule, okay, and you will say except if it come from sm helpdesk at anti.security.com, okay. So it means that he will not scan for any safe attachment if it comes from the the actual internal emails that will be the recipient. They will not scan any safe attachments if it come from sm at anti.security.com. Do you understand? So it will work that way. So like this, if you delete the disclaimer, then you delete the process of the safe attachments. And what you could do also, you could go here, mailbox, and check for here. And you could go to mailbox, and here, maybe because, I don't know, it could be a problem about this and it could create delay. So you could also manage the size restriction, okay? And you can increase it, okay? You can increase it to, I don't know how much. So yep, what there is more, you could also, in the not in the save attachment, but you could also let's say disable safe links, because all of these things are processing in the background without you knowing this, but it processes in the background. And for very large emails, you can actually enable all of this, because you are sending this to, it come from you, from like a very trusted email. It's you, like it's the actual HR team, HR newsletter at anti.security.com. So this way you don't need to do all of this. So if you're sending this to 500 emails, you can implement, you can sending this quickly. You have also accepted domains, no sorry, high volume email, and this one mean that it will take normally everything for you. Like he will set all this in the background for you, okay. So you have just different way of doing this, guys. You just need to understand this. So okay, now scenario 5. So the scenario 5, user receiving phishing emails. Okay, user receiving phishing emails. Employee report receiving phishing emails appearing to come from your organization, IT support at your company, but are actually from external sources. So it pretend to be, for example, Manon Leimer at antidotesecurity.com, but in reality, no, it's from an external source. It could be very confusing because I know that if some of you are asking you the question right now, like, explain me this, like, explain me how it could be from atsupport.com dot antidotesecurity.com and at the same time from an external source, because the external source will be, for example, uh, like you see, sorry, it could be evil.com, like I am a malware at outlook.com, for example. I'm just making stuff up. So what you will do simply, guys, is that you will go here. This mail is from Microsoft, but am I sure that it really come from Microsoft? Because there is only the name Microsoft Outlook. Anyone could pretend to be Microsoft Outlook and to be yeah, and to come from this email, okay, like this email. How can I be sure it's actually going here, guys? Advanced action or not? View, yeah, view message details, and it's actually here, guys, that you will see the real source. You will see, like, now it's not your job, okay, like you going beyond your job, but you can simplify the work for this, for the security team, okay, by just giving them as a ticket and telling them, okay, this is the actual message details, yeah, this is evil, for example, yeah, this one is evil, and yeah, so you will just analyze the actual mail that was pretending. And for example, it could be in the actual here, uh in the actual undesirable mail, and you could check, you can simply check and say, okay, um like someone could, an employee could contact you, sorry, could send you a ticket and tell you, okay, I have this mail. I'm really not sure. It doesn't seem right. Could you please study this mail for me? Because I'm not sure if it's really my colleague or partners that we are working with. And now you could check, like you could just, okay, make the work simpler for the security team. And what you can do more, and you need to go for the actually, I did not explain too much, but you could go here, view your message, and there is normally something called return path. So that's why this go beyond your actual skills, but you could just study this and look for the because there is a return path. It's where you will see the actual, like, malicious user at spammingserver.com, and you will see the actual truth about who is behind the partners or your colleague, okay, especially if it doesn't look right. So yeah, and then how, what you could do once you find it, just before the security team do the work, you could, for example, click here, okay, and yeah, let's just say this. You can just click here and then go back on in here and tenant allow block policy, and then you will block. Okay, you will put it here. Okay, and it means that you are blocking this email address because it's spammy. And also, guys, just note that Microsoft use AI. Now you need to be careful because support, Microsoft support will say this a lot, but it's just a way for them to just told you, look, things are not correctly working, and they will just send the mistake to, yeah, it's AI, like they will I don't know how to say. But I think you get my point. They will just try to pretend that it's AI, but in reality, it's just them. Like it's the actual Microsoft servers that is not correctly functioning. Yeah. So I just want to say this because I'm dealing a lot with the support, and I can tell you this. Yeah. So now after it will be the work of the actual security team. You can do sometimes yourself, but they need to straighten the anti-phishing policies, okay? And they will need to add your, okay, the domain into the actual phishing policy for enhanced situation. Sorry guys, I'm just fixing my mic.